Tonight's episode, the Tails Doll Curse. Ever played Sonic R? Possibly a small percent of you have. Heard of the Tails Doll? Here is one of the stories I ever heard of from my close friend. A man came home from work with a gift for his son. He had picked up a new video game for him, Sonic R. It was a racing game, and when he gave the son the gift, he was so excited to get it and play it right away. That night he played the game with his son and they had a great time. A couple days later, the boy was almost finished with the game. His dad was there in the room when he beat the last boss and he roared in excitement when he finally did it. Finale did it. He smiled and asked him how he liked the game as he watched the credits screen. What's that? He asked the boy when the Tails doll appeared on the screen. The boy said it was the Tails doll. That was all he knew. He told his son it was time for bed. During the night, the curious father went into the boy's room and turned on the TV very quietly to play a game for a while himself. He noticed that he now had the option to play as Tails doll. He chose him to tag up with some of the gang. The game was fun until he tagged him up with Sonic. The screen went black when the game system shut itself down. The man decided it was time for him to go to sleep since he had work in the morning, so he crept out of his son's room and went to lay in bed with his wife. At around 2 a.m. he woke up when he heard thumps on the door. He assumed it was the son getting up to ask him to get him something. He told the boy to stop, go back to bed. The thumping kept happening. At one point he noticed a little shadow coming from under the door. Tails kept popping into his head. He got out of bed and slowly opened the door. Then he heard someone say this very softly. "You're coming with me forever." It was a doll, an evil, blood-covered, possessed little doll. It was the doll from the game. It had to be. The end. Another version. Once upon a time, there was a little boy who lived in California and loved to play the Sonic R video game on the Sega Saturn console. Apparently the video game was cursed. He had unlocked Tails Doll in the game. He played a game called Tag Race and used Tails Doll to tag Tails, Metal Sonic, Metal Knuckles, and Super Sonic. That night, his TV froze and he saw Tails Doll on the screen, going back and forth. He jumped out and killed the poor little kid. How to do the Tails Doll curse. Go into the bathroom and turn off the lights. Go to YouTube and view Can You Feel the Sunshine backwards, and then Living in the City backwards. There will be a red light in the mirror. The end. Another version. This doll is no ordinary doll. This doll is pure evil. People make videos about it, Wikipedia and other stuff. The Tails Doll! To summon him, you must play the Sonic R game, 100% completed. Play as the Tails Doll and play tag mode. While playing tag mode, you will see Super Sonic. When you tag him, something strange will happen. The screen will change to a picture of the Tails Doll. You will see him standing on a red checkered floor. You might be hearing a song called Can You Feel the Sunshine? If you see a red light, don't go near it. It's the Tails Doll. It might kill you, or it will give you a curse. It will give bad luck. The end. Another version. On my 7th birthday, I got Sonic Gems Collection, which included Sonic R. I loved that game until I was playing as Tails Doll in the Tag 4 Characters mode, and the screen went black when I tagged Super Sonic. I thought it was just a glitch from all the scratches on the disc. So I shut the game off and cleaned the disc and put it away. The next day, I tried again. And this time, a picture of TD popped up with him floating over some red checkered tile with Can You Feel the Sunshine playing. I was creeped out at that point, so I turned off the game and went to bed. The next morning, I hopped on the Google and looked up strange glitches on Sonic R, and a story of the Tails Doll curse came up. The glitches matched up perfectly with the curse. I now knew what was going on. I also looked into ways of summoning him and found the following. 1. Go into the bathroom after 11 p.m. and turn out the lights. 2. play Can You Feel the Sunshine in reverse. Then Livin' in the City, also in reverse. 3. Wait 5 minutes. 4. If you did it right, a red diamond will appear in the mirror. I took my recorder and recorded the songs I needed for the night to come. Why would you do this? All right. I also played Sonic R until about 10:30 so I could watch the time. I had no other means of checking the time except for Sonic R. No way of telling the passage of time except video games. Sorry. I took my recorder and recorded the songs I needed for the night to come. I also played Sonic R until about 10:30 so I could watch the time. 11 finally came. I played the songs and waited 5 minutes, and sure enough, there he was. I was stunned to see him. He sat there by my head, staring right into my eyes, motionless. I slowly reached out to touch his ear, and he quickly smacked my hand away, then let his red gem illuminate his face. His bloody, bloody face shan't be forgotten. Then he whispered into my ear, "Can you feel the sunshine?" I can't. Ever. And just as suddenly as he came, the doll was gone. The end.